Hello, everybody. I'm waiting for you. Hello, hello. Hello, hello, everybody. This is Misha Safran, and I am the founder of the Podbean podcast channel, Coexistence, Joy, Pain, and Truth. And I'm also the founder of the Facebook group, Authentic and Wholehearted Joy. And I'm super excited to be live streaming today in my private group, Authentic and Wholehearted Joy. And I'm hoping that some of my members will join me. We have over 290 members in this group, and I would really love to see them here with me. And I know it's an awkward time of day. It's the lunch hour in California. It's 3 in the afternoon, so somewhat towards the end of the workday on the East Coast and somewhere in between everywhere else. But I would really love to have anyone who is interested in joining me. And those of you who are on my Podbean channel, you can certainly participate by putting your comments in the chat. Anything you would like to be shared with the group, I can repeat that for us. But I would love to just dive in. I know that this holiday season is a very different one from all the other holiday seasons we have had thus far. It is undeniable that we have had, I'm just noticing there's a moment of vanity here. Okay, there we go. Maybe it's fixed. I'm just really wanting to acknowledge that there is definitely pain in the world. We've lost a lot of lives due to the COVID virus, the coronavirus. We have missed a lot of very special events together. There have been weddings, there have been births, there have been graduations, there have been work promotions, there have been retirements, and even the death of our loved ones, the funerals have been on Zoom. And so there's a real lack of connection. And yet, as a society globally, we are somewhat prepared because we have this internet, right? And we have this tool to bring us together and to connect us. And it's not the same, is it? It's just not the same. So I'm curious by, if you're listening to this live or if you're listening to this as a replay, whether you're on Facebook or Podbean or YouTube, I would love to hear from you. What is your biggest challenge for this holiday season? What are you battling? Is it depression? Is it isolation? Is it fear? Is it grief? And maybe there's also this other element of joy, but being afraid to feel that joy because it feels like, how could I feel joy if all these people are experiencing this? Because there are some people who have been able to prosper during this time and who have not been affected by illness or death from the virus, who have not even gotten sick, who actually have had a job happen during this time frame, or who have made new friends. I, for one, met the love of my life during this time, but I can't say that I haven't been affected by the negative side of this pandemic. So if you are in my Facebook group and you are watching and you would like to join me live, you can just pop into the Zoom link that I've submitted. But I would love to be able to just offer some encouragement today. And if someone comes onto the Zoom with me, then we'll have a conversation. Otherwise, this is going to be, so first of all, it's pretty cool. It's my 20th episode of Passing Joy Around the World, Coexistence, Joy, Pain, and Truth. I'm delighted and excited that I will be actually having a radio show. I believe it's starting January, but we're still in the works, where I will be able to reach a broader audience with this topic. But I want to give some tools for being able to experience that duality, that coexistence, right? There's life and death. There's really joyful feelings and really painful feelings. There's also a sense of I think there's a deeper sense of mortality because there's a lot of fear. And so when we feel all of that, how do we also allow the joy to come in? And so that's a really important question. How do you allow, or do you allow yourself to feel joy during the depths of what feels like despair in our world? So I'm just going to let you sit with that thought for a moment. Breathing is open one eye. Breathing is a really good tool. Yeah. So, even when we were not in a pandemic, before the pandemic, was that something that you were able to do? Were you able to let joy in? Were you able to feel the goodness in your life? Were you able to feel happy, dance a little bit, sing in the shower, enjoy a joke, an innocent joke? Was that your nature before the pandemic, or was that already something very difficult? And now the pandemic has just created this times 1,000 challenge, right? Yeah, I like to make funny faces. So, yeah. So again, the question is, prior to this pandemic, were you someone that was able to really embrace the goodness in your life? And did this shut down, this experience, make that 1,000 times harder? It's just something to think about. There's no right or wrong answer. If you were not somebody that embraced joy or were able to pay attention to the goodness in your life because you really felt like there wasn't any, or you're really struggling, like there's no judgment here. Like we all have, sound like a valley girl, like. Anyways, we all have our own experiences. And I'm not here, nor would I like anybody else to be here to judge any of you based on what your experiences were. So again, if you can think about, it's hard, it's already 10 months ago, pre-pandemic, what was your life like? What were you feeling? What were you exploring? What positive was happening for you? So for me, I had been on medical leave. I had started to explore the potential of building my own business. And I had multiple friendships, loving family. I was living with my oldest son and his girlfriend for a while and really enjoying walks almost every day by the river. That was up until about November of 2019. And then they had to do construction on it. I was really upset. Like, you just took away my walking path. I loved walking by the Sacramento River. So then when the pandemic hit and I wasn't able to go walking by the river because it had already been 3 months, they had it under construction. I had to find other places to walk, and I did, because that's really important for my chronic condition, my pain. But before the pandemic, I often was able to really find something positive every day, at least one thing. And many of you have heard me share before, I wrote a song called Ain't No Bad Day for Me, because I really had to force myself a lot of times, remind myself to be grateful, to find the good in each day. And I realized that if I couldn't find the good, that I could really dive down deep into depression, into sadness. So if you're just joining me now, whether on Facebook or on Podbean, I'm curious. I'd love to hear from you. What was it like for you before the pandemic? Where was your joy? What gave you joy? And what has this transition been like? How has it affected you? Do you still find that you're able to absorb and experience joy? Or perhaps you found that it's been more and more difficult as the months have gone on. Or perhaps you found that with the months, as the months have gone on, it's actually gotten a little easier. And again, if you're in the Facebook group and you'd like to join me on Zoom, feel free to click the link in the post below the live video, and you can join me. Yeah, so just gonna wait for a moment, see if anybody wants to respond to that. And so one of the things that I'm thinking about is, as I said in the beginning of the video, we've really had to do things a different way. We've really had to, weddings on Zoom or Google Hangouts or whatever it is. We've had funerals on Zoom. We've had, the after pictures of a birth that people haven't been able to attend. And so now we're approaching the full swing of holidays. Today, happy Hanukkah to all who celebrate. It's the beginning of Hanukkah this evening at sundown. And then over the next few weeks, there's Christmas, and then there's Kwanzaa, and there's New Year for the 2021 entrance. There's an inauguration. There are a lot of events that we have to do things differently, right? And it's a different kind of fulfillment. So how are you embracing this change? I will say that I embrace this change knowing that just as joy can be temporary, pain is temporary. And so, it's this constant shift, right? And so if I can remember that pain is temporary, then when I'm feeling joyful, I really want to hold on to it, but it's temporary. It goes into something else, right? There's this transformation that takes place. So that's one thing. That's one thing that helps me remember and identify that I'm going to get through this, right? The other thing that I've noticed has been very helpful is that I write gratitudes every day, even when I don't feel like it. So I will grab for you my gratitude journal. I had a challenge training the other week, and I had people write down gratitude using the letters, in the alphabet. And that was really cool. I loved what people came up with. I would read that for you, but I don't know that I can find it. But, and then I started doing it where I was doing the letter A in one day, and then I did the letter B in another day, and then I did the letter C, and I went all the way through the alphabet. And that way, I'll tell you what, Z was really, really hard. I wonder if I can find it in my journal here, but yeah, and X was really hard, actually. Z was a lot easier. X was X-rays revealing that I had no pneumonia. Oh, this was last March when I was really sick. Xylophonist, xanthophil, and I had to look up that was. It was it had to do with autumn colors. And yeah, so it was, but I tried it. Like, I was grateful for those different things. So the letter A was, I was grateful for acceptance, for being able to acknowledge my victories, for awareness of my growth, for actions, even if they're small. The letter B was beauty, books, babies, birthdays. And C was caring friends, compassion, and connection, even if it was on Zoom. And that was literally just at the shutdown. So I've had to continue that practice of finding gratitude. Another tip or tool that I would like to offer you is when I am feeling a little down on myself, I practice writing affirmations about myself, positive affirmations about myself. So those of you who are listening, either on Podbean or in the Authentic and Wholehearted Joy group, if you would like to share, do you practice gratitude? And if so, what could you possibly, what would you be willing to share today that you're grateful for? And then, well, I'll give you a minute. Go ahead. So what are you grateful for today? And I'll just pause for a moment, and you can write that in the comments in the Podbean, or you can write that in the comments in the Facebook chat. If you're listening to the replay, you can just put it in the comments. I have the videos on YouTube, Podbean, and Facebook. So what are you grateful for today? And how does having that gratitude keep your momentum towards living your life rather than just surviving your life? I'll take a break to take a sip of tea. So the other piece is, how can you affirm yourself? And what does affirming yourself do to also keep you in that focus of living life rather than surviving life? Basically thriving, right? So I can say affirmations such as, I am a hard worker. I am a caring, compassionate woman. I am loved. And those phrases really ground me. They remind me, most days when I'm feeling receptive, they remind me that I am living a quality life. And for those of you who don't know me, I do have chronic pain, and I still live a prosperous life. I seek it. I do a lot of work every day to maintain a practice, and I call it my joy practice. Doesn't mean I'm always feeling joy, but it's my joy practice, because what it does is it makes sure that I live mostly in joy. I work very hard at not feeling hate. I work very hard. I don't like, injustices. That's not okay. But I work towards appreciating my life so that I can also have the energy and willingness to support others whose lives are not perhaps as good as mine. So again, gratitude and affirmations. That is something that even when we're in our deepest grief, which is okay to feel, I don't want to negate that. So please don't mishear me. It is so important to feel our pain. It is so important to feel our angst and our frustration and our sadness. If we deny that, it builds up inside, it festers, and it will affect our body and our health. So I really want everyone to acknowledge and give themselves permission to feel the pain, to feel the grief, and to move through it, not avoid it, not deny it, but move through it. Excuse me. Because if you can do that, then you will begin, if you're not already, to receive the joy, to receive the love. And this will carry you through these holidays, this season being different. It just doesn't happen overnight, right? And we need to do it every day, even if it's just 5 minutes. So I'm hoping that you will tune in. I will be having a guest next week. Again, I go live in my Podbean. I'm live in my Facebook group. If you're not in my Facebook group and you are a woman identified, it's called Authentic and Wholehearted Joy. And I'm happy to receive any woman who wants to be in that group. There are trans women in that group. There are LGBTQIA plus identified. There are women of color. It is a group of beautiful women from all around the world. And you are welcome if you would like to join that group. Again, it's on Facebook. Again, you can look it up under the name Authentic and Wholehearted Joy. If it's Podbean or YouTube, I will put the link in the post so that you can access it Again, it is for women. I've had my male friends say, well, what about us? And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, this is for women. But I am happy to be of service to all gender, non-conforming, etc. I really believe the more we all strive to feel our joy and honor our pain, the better our world will be. And so I'm going to close here very shortly, but I just want everyone to know that I have small connection groups, and I also coach one-on-one. If you are looking for connection this holiday season, this winter, I invite you first to sign up for a free breakthrough session with me. I've labeled myself, kind of crowned myself. I'm not Napoleon, but I'm definitely short like Napoleon. I have a bigger heart. But I've crowned myself as a heartstring healer. And so I'm happy to offer for this holiday season a 30-minute free heartstring tuning session. And we can walk through some of your challenges and perhaps set up a mini plan for you on how to get through the holidays. This session is usually $125, and it's my gift to anybody, woman, that needs some attention, that wants some love and care. And if it turns out we're meant to work together, whether it's in my small connection groups or one-to-one, I will be delighted. And I have a lot of pride in the work that I do, as well as my ability to really hear, see, and hold space for all of you in one form or another. So I'll look forward. Again, I'll also put my link for my my free session, and I really hope that you either give yourself this gift of connecting with me, or perhaps you know somebody who could really use this as a holiday gift, to have them, to let them know that I am here to support, to love, to enjoy life with you, and to help you find ways to enjoy it authentically and wholeheartedly. So I look forward to hearing from you. Feel free to reach out if you're on Podbean or Facebook or YouTube. You can send me messages, and if I can support you through this holiday season, it would be my honor. I am a people person. I'm a borderline introvert extrovert, but I'm learning that I have a talent, and it's a gift, and I want to be able to offer it. And thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. I'm wishing you well this holiday season. And, with our chin up, I was gonna say with one chin up, we only have one chin. With our chin up, that doesn't mean we can't feel the stuff that's going on inside of us that's hard. And we can be there together in joy and in pain. So have a wonderful, wonderful day, the rest of today, or whatever day it is that you're watching this video. I guess for you, it would be a today, no matter which day it is. And feel free to ask me questions and reach out to me. Okay, thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.